Hello, welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the second tier we're looking at a funny blue-white tokens kind of deck. It's Divine Visitation and Bird tokens from Murmuring Mystic. So a pretty silly combo where if you get the two cards together and you cast instants and sorcery spells, you make 4/4 angels for every spell you cast. And right away we have Divine Visitation in the hand, along with some spells to bridge the gap. The rest of the deck plays similar to blue-white control, but instead of winning with something as broken, stupid, and overpowered as Teferi, we're going to try to win with a weird Divine Visitation combo. Excuse me. Well, definitely launch Search for Azcanta on turn 2 and try to find the cards we need. Our opponent's got an Adano Vanguard, which is incredibly hard to deal with. Annoying little thing, but not as bad for blue-white. It's not a land, but the life could be really helpful, and it can get us closer to one, so I'll keep it. That's the main thing we need, is more white mana for this hand. What else you got? Oh, Danitha. Danitha doesn't scare me much. It doesn't feel like a card I need to sabotage. So I'll Revitalize instead. Gain 3 life, draw a card. Alright, well we got a land. I want a white land. What can you do? While searching for Azcanta, did I take a wrong turn and stumble upon a plains? No! So I have to graveyard that. Oh, then we found it. So the question here is, do we settle? And I don't think we do. I think we take the damage. We have a lot of life gain in the deck, as you'll see. It works with Dawn of Hope. It works with the Murmuring Mystic. Our opponent doesn't want to play into counter magic, so instead we'll go ahead and kick the blink of an eye and bounce the Vanguard. Draw a card. Slow down the assault. Buy ourselves more time. Another Revitalize. That's fine. Buys more time and more time and more time. We don't want to spam the Visitation here. We don't have any way to make tokens yet. There's nothing wrong with taking your time and playing it later, especially with all the life gain spells in the deck. So right now we'll just keep working on our graveyard. That's fine. Again, we've got to settle, so we can solve that problem in the near future. And nope, not end step yet. Got to actually watch that. First strike does leave that extra damage phase, and we draw a Radical Idea, which I can play. Keep the cards coming. Get the Search for Azcanta closer to flipping. Up to 5 cards there. We'll graveyard another land. We've got enough of them. We draw a Quasiduplicate, which that's really useful later. Not quite right now. That can wait. However, it's good fuel for the Radical Idea. We'd love to get to a spot where we can play Settle the Wreckage and Sinister Sabotage at about the same time. If we let that resolve, though, it's very likely our opponent won't attack with all of them the next turn, but I guess we can find out the hard way. Alright, take that damage. Like I said, I want to get to a spot where I can settle and have Sabotage available. So on the end step, we will flashback Radical Idea. We'll discard Quasiduplicate. We don't have anything to copy right now, which is a big reason to discard it. And it's Jumpstart. We can always play it later. There's a card. 6 cards, so 1 more and we flip the search. Lightning Strike my face. Interesting. I could sabotage that and make sure I flip my search, but I think I'll just say go ahead. That's fine. And that can go to the graveyard. It has Jumpstart as well. We'll transform this. We'll draw the Mystic. Okay. It's all happening. And now that will really inspire the opponent to turn more creatures sideways or use a removal spell, one of the above. But if we can get our Mystic through the turn, Divine Visitation with Sinister Sabotage next turn would be legendary. Here they come. I'm going to see if I can get my opponent to use a lightning strike by blocking the Danitha, or a shock even. We'll say one blocker and see if the opponent wants to play anything. We also got them to activate the Adanto Vanguard, which is fine. But instead they try to go to damage, and we'll settle the wreckage upon them. Making a bird, exiling their creatures. And they get 3 lands, so maybe building up for that epic Banefire moment. But not before, hopefully, I get my epic Murmuring Mystic Divine Visitation moment. A Shalai. Well, I can make angels too, buddy. So, yeah, we'll go with the Visitation and hold up the Sabotage. But, yep, it's on now. I could have also gone off with like Quasiduplicate and some other things, but I think that this is just a better way to play the situation. Card out, a card in. Oh, well, the opponent couldn't bear to see the angels come to my aid instead of theirs. Divine rejection. Papwa! Alrighty. Ooh, a pack. We'll have to open that later. Let's go look at the deck. Get right into it. It's blue-white control, but with instead of Teferified, running good old Teferi, the hero of Dominaria, we're going to run 2 of these Divine Visitations, 4 of these Murmuring Mystics, and 2 of these Quasi-Duplicates. And we also have some Dawn of Hope action, as that can team up with Divine Visitation, to try to set up ways that just crank out big, powerful angels in the late game. The rest of the deck is a weird blue-white control, but built around casting spells, not enchantments like Ixalan's Binding and Seal Away. So that leaves us leaning on some pretty sketchy cards like Ritual of Rejuvenation and Revitalize, and that's why it's a tier 2 deck. I don't think that you can realistically get this strategy to tier 1. If you're a tier 1, add Teferi, maybe figure out if you're blue-white control or Esper traditional, but for now, we're playing around with Murmuring Mystic, and I think it's a lot more fun than traditional blue-white control. So maybe a gateway drug for those of you who aren't control mages, don't like the playstyle, but the idea of maybe making a bunch of janky Murmuring Mystic tokens sounds fun. Give it a thought. Give it some thought. Maybe pick this up, give it a try. All right, we have a search for Azcanta on turn 2. I don't know if I would ever mulligan that hand in my life. That's how much I love this card. Always showing up for me. As a one of, we've had in both opening hands today. Just a tiny example of how this card just shows up and does work for me. Slide it right under that potential counter magic from the Izzet Guildgate. Our opponent probably on some kind of blue-red shenanigans. Wizards. All right, gonna need our life gain spells. I do need another white source. Thank you very much. I think I'll play the Field of Ruin, and then I have a choice on end step of whether or not to blow up that Guildgate. It does put another land in the graveyard for search, but I'm probably better off with the Radical idea. And end turn. Yeah, I think I'm best off with the Radical idea. Try to get deeper in the deck. Try to get all the right cards lined up in the right order. Search for Azcanta says Revitalize. I don't mind if I do. This drink is on me. Not so bad against red. I wonder if we're about to... Nope. Our opponent didn't rain burn upon us, as these mages often do. A Crackling Drake. Yeah. Well, nothing in the graveyard quite yet, so the Drake is just getting started. Here comes the Pyromancer. We'll take it this time, and then I will, for 4 mana, to be totally mana efficient, cast the Chemister's Insight. And now we can start ditching land, as we've got plenty. And plenty of life gain, too, to buy us time until the Settle the Wreckage does the sweetness, as well as work on flipping the search. So what's it gonna be? Is it time to rain burn upon me? Here's the first one. It has begun. I think I can take this for now. Buy some more time. And when it comes to my turn, yep. Let's start with a Revitalize. That resolved quickly. I have no fear of some kind of a counter spell. And we'll gain all that life right back. Probably annoying the opponent. And I don't think this is going to be an Arch of Orazca game. Doesn't feel like it's going that direction. And we'll just hang over here with our potions and our counter spells, waiting to find the Mystic. We also have 6 cards in the graveyard. Means Search for Azcanta is very close to flipping. Here is an Electrostatic Field. Well, that doesn't attack and does a lot of incremental damage. So I'm going to Sinister Sabotage that, because it might be hard to get off the board. Oh, well, there's a card I want. Good thing we're up to 7 now. And here comes Rekindling Phoenix. That does attack. So while our opponent's probably thrilled to have that Phoenix available, I'm not afraid of it. All right, let's go ahead and Revitalize again. Thank you, sir. May I have another 5-hour energy? Where is my sponsorship? Transform. All right, we'll play you. And the Dawn of Hope, which lets us pay 2 to draw a card whenever we gain life, or create a 1/1 soldier with lifelink for 4 mana. And the opponent, you gotta be thinking, if they don't have a counter spell, they gotta be attacking here. They might not attack with the Pyromancer, though, for fear of the Dawn of Hope. Let's see what happens. Oh, everybody's coming at me. Yeah, I think we'll see if this works. It would be bad if the opponent had an Ionize. Oh. Little mishap. Can't cast the Revitalize. Gotta go with Radical Idea instead. Not the end of the world. Should have left a white mana open. Actually, I could not have. Not a mishap. I simply didn't have enough white sources to play Dawn of Hope and Settle the Wreckage and Revitalize in the same sequence. I had a moment of like, I was pretty sure, but just another brain fart on CGB's part. An Enigma Drake, all right. We'll drop off Quasiduplicate. We can always get it later. Keep the cards going deep. More white sources, you say? City's Blessing achieved. So it's likely the time where we start making Dawn of Hope type things. We could look for a Sabotage for this, but I don't even know if I'd Sinister Sabotage it if I could. I'd prefer to sweep it up with Settle the Wreckage. Risk factor. How fun. I will take 4. Got a lot of life gain in the deck. Resolve, and I will take 4 more. It does make risk factor a lot worse. when you can... let's see, do we try to find Settle here? No, we try to find it next turn. So, end step. Let's Revitalize. Do I pay the 2? Yeah, free cards. Why wouldn't we? There's the Mystic, who we really wanted. And there's a Sinister Sabotage to protect the Mystic. Pretty good. And here is our little bird maker. Let's see what our opponent has for us this time. Banefire for 9. Well, I've got to gain life, so I get a lot more looks at it with the Search for Azcanta. I need another Revitalize. Oh, it's a mana off. That's too bad. That was close. So, well, just Light Resolve. 1 mana short. And we hit every land drop that I believe we could in the entire game, so can't feel too bad about that one. Wonder if our opponent had the Banefire the whole way. Can I get one chance to go off with my Murmuring Mystic shenanigans? Please. Mars, can you help me out? I just want to do it one time. One time. Well, we got the Quasiduplicate and the Mystic and the Revitalizes. Hard to argue about that. All right, Meandering River always comes in the battlefield tapped, so it's always a good one to lean on when you have no plays to make. Now we can say go. Probably Revitalizing on end step. Golgari's a pretty tough matchup. They have like a million ways to kill your Mystic, unfortunately. It's hard to get Mystic to live. So you have to decide whether or not you want to wait till you can play it, then Quasiduplicate it at the same time. Our opponent's going straight to work with their Greenseeker, trying to hit some lands. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, you may reveal it. Put it into your hand. The land already knows its destiny. I simply ask to share the tale with me. Sure. You're very cool. Well, that's not a Chupacabra. Our opponent keeps a Deathgorge Scavenger on top. What to do? Feels like playing the Visitation and then the Duplicate is probably wiser. But I have nothing else to do except for settle this, which isn't that good. I guess if my opponent doesn't have a Chupacabra right here, I could take the game over. So I gotta try. Gotta try. It's like those decks that just jam Scarab God as soon as possible and hope for the best. Fun. Nobody lets Murmuring Mystic live. Card gets too much respect. Would you just ignore it for a minute so I can do my thing? All right, 0 for 2 on Dryad Greenseeking. An Insight. Well, that's something. Do I play this? And then maybe I just rip the Mystic? My opponent seems stuck on land. Maybe they'll play another Assassin's Trophy. The ramp could help me. Plus, this way we're kind of drawing live to any creature. We can start making angels. Mystic is pretty much the only creature. And Dawn of Hope, we can start making angels right away too. Yep. I think we just play our quote-unquote threats and make the opponent answer them in a narrow window. Because green-black, they have a million answers. And they will play all of them if we give them time. Okay. Why didn't you exile something? Seems like it's just free life to exile my Mystic. Could it be something along the lines of net decking without understanding? So, now what? The Find a Broca. You have nothing to get. Doesn't get an Assassin's Trophy. Awkward. What is going on? How many tries have we done with this Dryad? Let's see. Hey, we got a winner. Winner, chicken dinner. All right. Who wants some? Come get some. We definitely want to wait to play this Insight until after the Scavenger does its thing. And I don't want to play Settle right now. My opponent has a stock grip. We can assume all these are spells because they were missing some land drops. So we want to wait as long as we can. And there is the Mystic. Our opponent is tapped out. Is it really happening, my friends? Could it be? Ta-da! We've got angels! We did it! We made some birds into angels. It took 3 games. Don't be surprised if it takes a little while to go off, my friends. And if they don't kill this right freaking now, it's going to get even worse if we untap with Quasiduplicate in the yard. They go after Assassin's Trophy. I guess I'll just have to make more birds. Bird. I'll take birds. Birds can do a lot of damage too. Anywhere else? Yep. What else you got? Green Seekies. I guess our opponent could suicide the Scavenger to take out... It wouldn't even be suiciding the Scavenger. We'd have to trade with an Angel to take out the Duplicate or the Insight, which has Jumpstart, but we'll see if they see the play. Been a little sketchy so far this game. Sketchy play. What would I do? I would attack with the Scavenger. I would exile... I think the Quasiduplicate offers the most getting out of hand potential. So I would exile the Quasiduplicate and give up my Scavenger. The opponent doesn't do that, though. They'll drop off a land, copy a Mystic, and pass the turn. But the plan, of course, is to flash back the Insight and do even more. The Vigilant Angels get to attack over the top and drop the opponent to 12. We get 2 birds for using our Insight or using the Settle, should our opponent get crazy and turn everything sideways. Screw it. Just send in everyone attack. That Dryad Green Seeker, starting to put in work. I was being skeptical of its abilities earlier, but it's coming along. It's chugging. I think it's hit like 3 of these lands. Maybe it's 4. Finality. Well, I get to keep my Mystics. So, yep. Our opponent gets to keep the Find Broker, I'm guessing, is where the counters are going to go. We don't want to Insight in response because then our birds would die too. I could try to find a Sabotage, but that's a pretty low percentage play. Now that I've said that, I'm sure it'll be there. And the opponent should not attack into this. I will make birds. It's a onboard trick because I have the Insight in my graveyard. Well, alrighty. We gotta show them. We gotta show them. All right. Birds. It could be said that they want it in the graveyard for something, but they just pumped it up to a 5/6. I can't imagine them not wanting to keep the 5/6 around. It's a pretty big body, can attack through the Mystics. Revitalize, drawing Revitalize. Well, we are catching fire now, my friends. I should probably wait to play around another Finality and only make birds at instant speed on my opponent's end step or after their sorcery shenanigans. Let's go, birds. Take it home. Opponent checking on our little bird makers here. Our flock leaders. Trying to figure this out. Itachi! You know when you see the phantom birds. It's all about Itachi. Itachi Uchiha over here. Also dressed up like the Assassin's Creed character. So, what's up? You find a way out of this yet? You got tricks? Orazca. Well, our opponent can't cast Finality anymore. I can't imagine what they could do to sweep the board. So I'm going to use my Revitalize and Ritual of Rejuvenation now and see if we can come up with a counterspell for Orazca. Chemister's Insight's another good one. Radical Idea is there. I can try that one. One more look for the Sinister Sabotage. Oh, it should be more than enough birdos. Welcome to the flock. And that's the scoops. Orazca didn't even get her lines out. Opponent was like, see ya. I can't handle it. Too many birds. All right. I hope you enjoyed the deck. As always, I'll be back in the next video with another. I suggest you give it a try. Like I said, a little alternative to traditional blue-white control. A little funner in the win cons. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.